What's up, guys? LarriWhyte. We got the regular season today. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
So y'all, it's for your boy Jakhari Smith,
Yes,
Sacramento,
sir.
California. Yeah,
Yeah, the man. So
yeah.
I noticed you have some merch. How did that all how did that start and how did you kind of get all that going?
Yeah, so the first batch of merch that I got is from someone who's from out here.
Okay.
It's his brand is called the Stanford Yacht Club.
Yeah.
And I met him through one of my good friends and like we connected, and he was like I have been wanting to do merch like for
Yeah.
a while because I have like a certain style of like shirts that I like
Yeah.
to wear.
Yeah.
It's like I love the like vintage, like the vintage like '90s rap tees.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
like
Yeah.
I wanted something like similar to that. And
Yeah.
then my boy Cameron, I met him through my boy Andreas, and like we just got it connected, and like he
Yeah.
came up with the design and everything. And like yeah, that was my first batch. And then I found out about this like I tried to figure out like other like ways and forms and just testing out
Yeah.
different things.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I found out about like Bonfire, like the online merch website,
Mm.
and like I started designing my own like styles and designs and stuff like that. And now I sell those as well as like the
That's
original
fire.
ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope. Do you think that helps you kind of connect your audience and your fans, kind of having another way to for them to be able to buy stuff from you and stuff like that?
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
I think like especially with like streaming and stuff like
Oh
that,
yeah.
like it's kind of like artists basically really make like nothing off of
Yeah.
their like really like especially like trying to like organically just building it up. Like
Mm.
it's it takes a minute for you to like even make some traction. Even like the bigger artists, like
Yeah.
they have a lot of stuff that they have to pay out as well. So
Yeah.
definitely like finding ways to like as an independent like up and coming artist, find ways to monetize like your art in different at different avenues, like from
Yeah.
performance, from shows. Like if you know how to like do like a certain skill, like a mixing or mastering,
Yeah.
like merch is a huge thing. So it's like
Thanks.
that's definitely like it was definitely like huge for me to like get that out there. And then just like the connection aspect of like having a friend like
Yeah.
somebody a supporter who may not even know this other person, but they both have the
Yeah.
same shirt on.
Yeah.
And it's
Definitely.
like
No, that's
it's
tough. Yeah.
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's like it's a cool thing to bring everybody together.
Definitely. I like that, bro. Bro, I want to ask you this. So, every day I get on Instagram, you be doing live shows. I swear to God, every day Jakari's going live, going perform. How long have you been going and performing out in front of people? And how was that first experience? How did you kind of get used to everything?
So I've been performing since Halloween of 2021.
Okay.
So I put my first song out in July of 2021,
Okay.
and then I dropped a my first project at the beginning of October of 2021. And I have a friend, my friend Connor, who plays guitar.
Yep.
Like when we perform together a lot.
Yeah.
Um, he hosted a like a jam session, like a Halloween jam session at his house. And I remember it was funny because like when he told me about it, like I was like I had never been to open mic or anything like that. So like he told me, he was like, "Hey, come through and like, I'm having a jam session. Like, come through and just like do some songs, perform some songs." And I was like, "All right, do I have to send like my music out,
Yeah.
or like do I have to connect something, or like how's it gonna work?" Like,
Right.
he was like, "No, it's just a jam session. So it's just like we're gonna be playing live music and like just like flow over the whatever's playing. Like, it's not like no certain." Like you got to do the song exactly how it
Yeah.
is. So that was my first time like getting in front of like anyone. And it was like super nerve wracking. But like after like I went up like the first two times, I was like, all right, this is not that
Yeah.
bad. Like it's not as bad as like my mind was playing
Right.
tricks on
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And from there, like he told me about a there's an open mic that happens out here
Mm.
called Golden Bear on every Tuesday.
Yeah.
And he told me about that like a week later, is when I went to there the first time. And like performing there, it just like I started going like every week,
Yeah.
never missed a week. and like I would meet people and they're like, "Hey, I do this. Like I have this this event that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Would you like to do like a long like a 20-minute set, a 30-minute set?" And from there it's just like, and then also seeing like other artists that are performing and like studying. I'm a
Yeah.
big studier and like I
Yeah.
like to like look at what people are doing and then like see like how I can incorporate like my own style
Yeah.
because
Definitely.
like I'm a huge like as much as like I'm making music and all this stuff, I'm a huge fan of other people.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Definitely.
and I love to learn from others. So it's like just learning from what other people are doing and just like incorporate it into like my style. It just like it got like a lot easier.
Yeah.
And like, ever since like that Golden Bear and like that jam session, like literally it feels like it's been nonstop since
That's fire, bro.
2021. Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope, man. Like I said, I always find it interesting because every day I get on Instagram, you're out performing live. I'm like, yo, that's my guy, bro. He's out there doing his thing. I respect
For
that, man.
real. Thank you.
How is living out in Cali? Like I know it's kind of a bigger city and stuff like that. How's the music scene? Obviously, you say you go to live shows, stuff like that. How is it down there?
Oh man, Cali is something else. So like I stay in Sacramento, so like you have like from out like when people think of Cali, you always hear like LA, you
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
San Francisco, like you hear those cities like that.
yeah,
But like Sacramento is like one of those cities where it's like everybody kind of like knows each other. Like
mhm,
it's a big town, but it's a
yeah,
small town like mentality with the
yep,
music community, the music
definitely,
scene. And like because it's like all there's a lot of different artists that are out here, but like there's a lot there's gonna be like you have like the cliques, the
mhm,
certain groups and people that are kind of like, around each other all the time. But there's also like this sort of like family kind of
yeah,
community kind of thing where it's like you have these all these different artists, collabing with each other and like, two artists that make totally different type of
yeah,
music, but they may come together and connect. And it's like it's super dope because there's like so many different artists and a lot of the artists out here they don't sound the same. It's
yeah,
like, there's some places where, there's a certain sense. Even Sacramento, it has like the mainstream, there's a lot like the mainstream that it does have a Sacramento sound,
right,
but there's a lot of artists who are like getting out of that box and
yeah,
like it's cool to like know so many different artists and you have people who make like funk music, you have people who make, I know indie artists like I've
yep,
worked with like different
yeah,
types of
everybody,
artists
yeah,
and yeah, so it's just cool like being connected and being surrounded by so many different genres and
yeah,
everybody's kind of like working seamlessly together,
yeah.
and building their own craft but also able to support one another.
Definitely. Yeah. No, that's fire, bro. Speaking of that, like, you know how big the music community is. How big is it that with all the artists around you and everywhere else in the world, that it's helped you grow, kind of face that adversity to know that there's competition everywhere. And, regardless, you're going to have to do your, like, how big of an impact has that had on you?
Like really, like I'm a human being,
Yeah.
and like hip hop itself is already a competition. It's a
Yeah.
competitive sport, so it's like you already know that there's gonna be people, and especially like nowadays where it's like there's so many more independent artists, like
Yep.
with DistroKid and stuff like that, and able to like just like going the independent route. Like I look at Lil Russell, he's a huge inspiration with that, and it's like that independent route, there's so many artists who are doing it themselves. They're not really
Yep.
relying on too many outside factors. So
Facts.
that's automatically gonna bring a lot of different competition. But at the same time, it's really, really what it is, what brings peace is like knowing that, you're one of one. You have to find what works for you.
Yep.
It may not necessarily be what's like popular or what's played on the radio right now,
Yeah.
but like once you find your sound, once you find what works for you, and you can like really build and mold a core support system, a core like fan base who
Yeah.
will ride with you and rock with you and like, word of mouth and like they'll help you
Yeah.
grow this thing to wherever it can go. So like it's like it's cool like having that support system and
Yeah.
like, even though there's competition and there's millions of rappers who are inspired by like people like J. Cole or Saba
Yeah.
and like inspired to make similar, similar. They
Music.
rap about similar things
Yeah.
and stuff like that. There's like it's kind of comforting because it's like you have to find those little things that are specific to you,
Yep.
that and highlight that. Find what
Yeah.
how you can approach a track, how you can approach a beat. Like it's like different things, whatever works for you, and it's like take the time to like really just try it. Really,
Yeah.
what I would say is like try anything. Like
Facts.
don't be like if
Yeah.
it's a beat, like different type of beats, like whatever, just
Yep.
try it, give it a shot.
Yeah.
You know?
Hell yeah, that's dope. Nah,
Yeah.
I agree 100%, bro. So last music question, we'll jump into something else. And I feel like this isn't everything, but how do you deal with like criticism or hate? It goes around. It's gonna be there. I've dealt with it. How do you handle that and kind of just like shrug it off or face it and go through it? Like, what's your motivation to kind of handle that situation if somebody doesn't like what you're doing?
Man, like honestly, like at the same time, like I just said, like I'm human, so
Yeah.
I am a victim of like I battle. What really is, I'm my biggest critic. So like
Right.
I get in my own way a lot of
Yeah.
times, not and it's really like for me, you're in the. I mean, the thing about like Sacramento is like a lot of us are very supportive of one another, because we are kind of like going towards
Yeah.
a certain like goal and everything. So honestly, I can't really say I've dealt with a lot of like people like hating and like
Yeah.
people like like bashing you or anything like that. Really, like what it is like you'll meet artists or meet people, and like over time they just like they just, you start seeing less of them, you start hearing less of them, and they kind of like just kind of like go a whole different direction. That's really like what it is, but out here that I see a lot. But really like it's just you have to just focus on what you're doing. Like keep your
Yeah.
head down and just work. Like that's
Facts.
really how I overcome like any negative energy that's in my ear or on my
Yeah.
back. It's like just put my head down and just write it out, write a song
Yeah.
about it,
No, that's
and
facts.
release it. Like I'm a big, on you. I'll try not to bottle things in, so like I'm gonna release whatever I need to, get out. So it's like just put my head down and just grind and know that I have certain goals and things I
Yeah.
want to achieve, and nobody's gonna get in the way of that.
Yeah.
And that's what I always tell myself. It's like, I know what my purpose is,
Yeah.
and nobody can tell me or downplay anything that, that I'm going after or whatever I want to achieve. Like I know what I need to do,
Yeah.
and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, as long as it makes me feel right, as long as it
Yeah.
makes me feel good, and it's like making a solid impact, then that's all that matters to
Yeah.
me. So
Yeah.
like,
Facts. Yeah.
if someone talking,
Yeah.
someone got
Yeah.
something to say,
Yeah.
hey, it is what it is, brother. Like,
Facts. No, that's fact. That's fact, bro. I like that mindset that you have on that. You kind of just keep your head down, work. That's a great way to look at things. And I feel like I'm with you. I'm kind of like my biggest critic when it comes to things like that, and especially in the music industry. I'm like, yo, did I do this right? Did I put this right? You know
mhm,
what I'm saying? It's hard to kind of like have that positive mindset when you're critiquing your own things. But I like how you looked
mhm,
at things like that. That's dope, bro.
yeah.
So outside of music, what are some hobbies you like to do? Like if you can't get pen to paper, if you got writer's block, like what do you like to do outside of music to kind of like calm your mind a little bit?
Man, I've been really trying to like I feel I learn about myself like every day.
Yeah,
So like I like lately, like what I've been trying to do is go out, like
yeah,
go to like rivers and like lakes. I like being
yeah.
by water. So
Okay.
like I've been trying to do that a lot more. And trying to travel a lot. I work a
Yeah.
9 to 5, so like I also while trying to achieve this music stuff. So
Right.
like I do get writer's block occasionally, but
Hmm.
it really I can't really say it goes for long with me,
Okay.
because like I know some artists who will like have writer's block for like months,
Yeah.
like
Months. Yeah. Facts.
or idea creative blocks for like
Yep.
months or like even years,
Right.
and like for me, like I kind of like it go for some reason it go like, even if I ever start feeling like I can't really come up with any new ideas or anything like that, like really I just like I always set it down, and then I try to like just like go outside of their box and like really like just watching what other experiences is
Yeah.
what helps me. So like looking at what other people are doing, like because a lot of times like I like writing songs from somebody else's perspective. Like
Yeah.
even if it's something that I has nothing to do with me or like an experience I never had, I'll write
Yeah.
it from like whatever someone else's experience. So like I'll hear like a news story or something like that,
Yeah.
and I'll try to come up with a whole story about that. So like that helps me like overcome those writer's blocks, and then like just going out and like hanging out with friends and like
Yeah.
working at my job and like just the interactions that I have with people, like
Yeah.
being around other people
Definitely.
also
Yeah.
is like what I love to do outside of just music. Being around my friends and my
Thanks.
family and like
Yeah.
just going out and hanging out, like you'll see like things around you, and like you can just like come up with a story off of one simple
Yeah.
interaction or one simple thing.
Definitely. Yeah.
So it's like just like that's really it. Like
Okay.
outside of like the music thing is just being around my friends and family, and like I used to be a gamer. I used to
Okay.
like game a lot,
Yeah.
but I don't really do it too much
Yeah.
lately. I'm trying to get back into it.
Yeah.
I think it will open up some more ideas. But like
Yeah.
before I started doing music, I was like
Big
heavy
gamer.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
What system did you play?
oh, PlayStation.
Okay.
I
All
got a
right. All right. We're on the same
PS5.
page. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I grew
Yeah.
up. I grew up. I had each one. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Facts.
I'm
No,
a
that's how I was.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my that's my
What's your
side.
Yeah, what's your game? What kind of game did you play before you got into the music heavy?
I love GTA.
All
I'm
right,
a
all
huge
right.
GTA
Yeah,
fan. I used to play 2K a lot.
yep.
2K and the Call of Duty.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah, that's
I
dope.
was a
Yeah.
huge fan of those.
I like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
so but like growing up, yeah, like Def Jam, Vendetta, NBA
Yeah.
Street, like I love
Hell
all
yeah,
that.
bro. That's it. GTA, bro.
Yeah,
GTA's coming out. Is it this coming
bruh.
year? I'm excited, bro.
Yeah, it's
Been
about to
too
be.
long.
That's definitely gonna get me back on.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
facts.
be.
Ah, facts.
Yeah,
Yeah, facts.
yeah.
It's been too long, bro. I think it's been what, like 12 years?
Crazy. Yeah, I
I remember
remember. Yeah,
I was in seventh grade, I think, when I got five, so I know it's been a minute.
yeah. I forgot what grade I was in, but yeah, it was. Yeah, it's been like almost like 12 something years because
That's what I thought.
yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember when I got it too. I think it was. I forgot. It was it the PS4 or
Yeah, well,
PS3?
I think when it came out, it was three, and then I think maybe a
Yeah,
couple months later, four came out, so it wasn't
yeah.
super
4
long.
came out
Yeah,
afterwards.
yeah, yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
super long. Ah, yeah, that's good times, bro. That's good times. I
Yeah,
remember
for
that.
real, bro.
Yeah,
It brings
facts.
it back.
So I noticed I really respect this because I'm kind of the same way. I feel like you got a really good support system, like with your friends and your family. Like, what's like the biggest connection you've had, like friend wise? Like, how have they helped you grow as an artist? 'Cause I know in your music videos you have people incorporated. Like, how's that kind of helped you through this journey with having people as close to you that are artists or whatever it may be?
Yeah, so like the first person like that got me into doing like music and like doing it seriously was my boy Connor.
Yeah, yeah.
Connor, I met him. I actually met him through my job,
Okay.
the job that we worked at. He doesn't work there no more. I
Yeah.
still there,
Yeah, he's still
but
grinding.
yeah, still
Yeah.
grinding and
Hell yeah.
trying to achieve this music thing. It's a
Yeah.
struggle, but
It
it's
is,
about
bro.
balance. It's
It
about
is.
balance.
It
So
is, man.
but yeah, I met him through he I started working there in like December of
Okay.
2020. This
Yeah.
is before I started like doing music at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't even on my
All
radar,
right.
my
Yeah.
mind or nothing. But I started working at my job in December of 2020. He started like maybe a month later in January 2021.
Hmm.
And like he told me he was like in a band and he was like yo, like, we just started talking about like,
Yeah.
just getting to know each other and stuff like that. And I told him I was thinking about like doing poetry and like,
Yeah.
cause I used to journal.
Right.
I would just write my thoughts out and stuff. But yeah, asked him if I could share some stuff, and yeah, he was like, I see something. Like he was
Yeah.
like, I see something here, and just like go after it, like give it a shot and keep
Facts.
going. And from there, it's just like that's what kicked off everything. Like I
Yeah.
put my first song out in July, and like from there, I just like never really stopped like
Yeah.
making stuff. And going to open mics is where I met. The first time I went to open mic, I met my boy Elijah.
Okay.
His artist name is Beatnik
Yeah,
Stone.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
He's
yeah,
one of
yeah.
my
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Beatnik. He's one of my like closest comrades in all this. He's
Yeah.
been there, day one. And like he really like outside of this music thing, because like I know so many different artists out here, and I've met and like different artists, but like Elijah, like there's certain artists that I meet where it's kind of like just a like an artist connection. Like we're
Right.
still cool, but it's really like more business side of things. But
Facts. Yeah.
with Elijah, like I could really separate the Elijah from Beatnik.
From
Like,
yeah, definitely.
and it's rare to find that. And like like we've I met my boy Andreas. A New Kitchen
Yeah.
is his Instagram, and I met him like the second time I went to the second week I
Yeah.
went to Golden Bear for the first time, and those three guys are like some of my closest people that I've met on this journey. But there's so many like the Lab Rats. They're a band that are
Okay.
out from
Yeah.
out here. The Lab Rats, French 75. They're a rap group. I think they're from like the Bay Area, but
Yeah.
they're based down here. Um, but yeah, Coco, Emily, like there's so many
Yeah.
like
There's so
to
many. Yeah.
name, but like yeah, these are like individuals who like I can separate the music from the
The
person.
person. Yep.
And it's
Facts.
like we like I've gotten to know a little bit more about the individual, who's behind the music.
Facts.
Whereas like there's some people that I've met, and it's just like it's really just like a surface level
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah.
But like there's so many others, like my boy EG, my boy Christian Philharmonic, like there's
Yeah.
I'll be naming people all day, but
Right.
there's
Yeah.
like there's a handful of people that I feel like we're very much more close than some others. But it's cool like having those people and like learning from those people,
Definitely.
like learning different experiences. Because growing up, I never really had that.
Yeah.
Always growing up in school and stuff like that, I was always kind of like with myself, like by myself a lot.
Yeah.
So, besides family, it was really
Right.
just me.
Yeah.
So, ever since I got into this music thing, like I met people who like, I would consider,
Yeah.
my actual friends, and
Facts.
some of them have grown to I consider part of my family. So,
Definitely.
yeah, it's cool. It's like
That's
I'm
dope.
super grateful, super
Yeah,
grateful.
that's dope, bro. That's a great circle to have. Have all those friends connected and outside of music and the artists. That's dope, bro. I
Yeah,
respect that a lot. That's kind of how me and my homies are for sure.
yeah.
Um, oh yeah. So what are some of the biggest trials and tribulations you've had through your music journey? I know you just started a couple years ago, but what are some things you've kind of had to overcome and get through that you were like, damn, like that's kind of tough. I got to work through this challenge.
Really, it's like the biggest thing for me is like I've learned a lot of lessons through the music scene,
Yeah.
and like I mean, it's like life lessons that I grew up like being told,
Right.
and it really is about like try not to put like be very cautious with yourself, like
Facts.
be. I had to learn to be more stern, more like yes and no. Like
Yeah. Facts.
I had to learn, like, because growing up, like I said, like I, you know, therapy is like an experience that I haven't had yet, but I want to.
Yeah. Right.
I want to like learn, like really get out, things that I have bottled in, because I feel
Yeah.
like there's a lot of like I've revealed a lot of stuff about myself, but there's still deeper layers to me that I
Facts.
haven't even experienced yet. And like, one of those things is like one of the lessons that like I've learned along the way is like be very cautious with myself, and if something doesn't sit right, I have to address it. I
Yeah.
always grew up like wanting to be like a yes man, and always wanting to please other people,
Yeah.
and put their happiness before mine. So like what I've learned along the way is like, even if whatever like my decision on something isn't, necessarily gonna make someone else happy, if it's not sitting right with me, then
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
it has to
Facts.
be.
Yeah.
and like that's a big thing for me because I always, even when I first started, I always felt like I wanted to, I don't want to like be on someone's bad side or like
Yeah.
have them
Facts.
disappointed in me.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
I grew up like that. So,
Yep. Yep.
but over time, like I've learned like if it's not right, if I feel it in my gut that
Yeah.
it's not right, the situation, the person,
Yep. Yep.
whatever, like it gotta go.
Yeah. Facts.
And like that's like a big lesson. Another lesson is like just take my time with things. Like try not
Yep.
to like put so much pressure on yourselves to like
Facts.
because like what I've learned along the way is like this music thing and like achieving these goals and stuff is
Yeah.
not a race.
Yep.
It's a marathon. And
Yep.
it's not, for some people it happens overnight, but for majority of us it's gonna take some work. It's gonna
Time.
take
Yep.
some time.
Yep.
And you gotta be prepared for that. Like,
Yep.
no matter what time it takes, just have fun with it and enjoy and live in the moment.
Mhm.
That's another thing that I've learned and like, I've had to overcome with myself is because it's
Definitely.
like I was so worried about like, oh, I'm wasting time. Oh, like I need to, I'm looking at what other people are doing and it's like,
Yep.
oh, like I'm not doing enough. Like I need to be, do this. I need to do
Yep.
this. But really what I had to tell myself is like that whatever that person is doing, whatever that person is at, they had to, take steps to get to that.
Yep. Yep.
So like, their starting steps may be different from where I started.
Facts.
So
Yeah.
like people's circumstances are different. It's all about what circumstance and where you're at is can get you where you need to be. So
Yeah.
like I had to like tell myself like don't like don't look at what other people are doing and like try to like I need to be doing this, I'm not doing enough, and beat myself down. I
Facts.
need to just take it day by day with me, whatever I got going on, whatever my
Yeah.
reality is. So like that's like another like kind of thing. A lot of the trials and tribulations that I've gone through the music thing has been with myself.
Yeah.
It's really like, it's an internal battle and like
Yeah.
like overcoming things that I grew up, problems that I had growing up.
Yeah.
And I'm that's why music is so means so much to me
Yeah.
because it's more than just like making putting words over a beat. Like
Yeah.
music has taught me life lessons that I can carry
Facts.
on.
Yeah.
So like yeah, that's some of the
That's dope.
stuff
No,
like
that's dope,
yeah.
bro. That's respect. Cause like, things like that, man, it's always hard, especially in the music industry. You gotta, you look, and I do it the same thing. You look at other people and you're like, yo, they're doing this. Why am I not doing that? It's kind of like an
Mhm.
internal thing. And you just can't do that, especially in this business, man. You just gotta grind and keep doing your thing, and
Mhm.
it'll come. But
Yeah.
okay, so I want to ask you these. These are funny. So what, like, okay, let's say it's late at night and you're
Mhm.
hungry. What's your go-to snack? Like, what snack are you going to that like your go-to number one snack that you gotta have?
I'm gonna say like a good cookie will
All
always
right.
be
Yeah.
clutch. It's
What
always
kind?
clutch. Probably like a sugar cookie or like
All
a
right.
snickerdoodle.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's always clutch. Like
All right.
even the classic like chocolate
Yeah.
chip, like
Yeah.
that's
No, that's
always
fire.
yeah. It's
All right.
simple,
Yeah.
easy, quick. You know.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
dope. I like that one. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Another one. So let's say the world's ending and you get to go to an island. Like you're gonna be stranded on this island, but you're allowed to bring whoever you want, whatever you want. Who are you taking and what are you bringing? Because once you're there, like you can't leave.
How many items do I get to take?
Whatever you want.
Just one.
However, yeah. Yeah, we'll say one. We'll just say one.
All right, one item and one
Yeah.
person.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna take. Ooh, shoot.
I know.
I'm
That's
gonna take. I'm gonna probably take my mama.
okay.
I'm gonna take my mom because, like, I feel like there's certain times where, like, I'll be like, I'm the more like I'll be logical, like thinking.
Yeah.
I'm like,
All right.
all right, we gotta plan this
Yeah.
out. And my mom is kind of like the more
Right.
creative thinking than
Yeah.
me sometimes. So she'll like think outside of the box on a lot of things when I'm like not even looking outside of the box.
Right.
I'm like, so and it's my mama, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna take my
Facts.
mom. And the one thing I would take, one item. Mm, I'm gonna have to take like a machete or something.
All right, all
I'm
right.
a,
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm gonna
you gotta
need,
have it. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna need that. Yeah, a machete to, if there's something on there,
Yeah.
you know, to chop some coconuts open or something
Yeah.
like that or
Yeah. All right.
whatever.
No, I like
Yeah.
that. All right, before we wrap this up, because Zoom's trying to kick me out. You got a
Oh,
big show. No, you're good. You got a big show next week, right? You're gonna open
yep.
it. Talk to me a
Yeah,
little bit about that. Kind of, how excited you are, the details, everything going
bro.
into it. I know
Yeah,
you're
it's
hyped, man.
yeah. So well, I'm doing like I have a show before the one. So like
Yeah.
I have one coming up on the 13th of
Okay.
this month of October
Yeah.
at Golden Bear
Yeah.
for mental health awareness.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
all the proceeds are going towards mental health awareness and support.
Yeah, bro.
It's cool because like I'm connected with, there's this group called Hip Hopaholics,
Yeah.
based out of San Francisco.
Okay.
So like it's kind of like a bridging, like there's gonna be San Francisco artists, like Bay Area artists mixed with like Sacramento artists, and
Yeah.
kind of like we're all doing a show together. So it's like
Facts.
a showcase to bring everybody together. Um, but after that, I'll be doing like a crazy show
Yeah.
at Ace of Spades.
Yeah. Ace of Spades.
In November
Okay.
13th. I Ace of Spades is, they're ran by Live Nation.
Yeah.
And so with Live Nation, it's kind of like it's a little bit harder to get in there
Yeah.
because with like places like like Harlow's and like places, other places that
Yeah.
are out here, they're like independently owned, so
Yeah.
you can kind of like you can reach out to like the people that own them, the
Yeah.
venue itself, and be like, hey, I do this, like I would love the opportunity to perform here.
Yeah.
And it'll be the negotiation is really you're talking to the venue itself, and it's
Yeah.
like it's like the connecting is a lot, is much stronger.
Right.
But with like since Live Nation owns Ace of Spades, you have to kind of like be connected with the artist that's
Okay.
performing there
All right. I see.
to open up.
Yeah.
So like the opportunity, it came like I got someone was they were like, hey, there's a opening slot, a local opening slot, to open at this show, and they were like, just send the music, like send your music and like what some clips of you performing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I took a shot, I sent it off,
Yeah.
and then they were like, okay, I'm gonna get it to the agent
Yeah.
of the artist, and see if you're approved. And like literally 2 hours later, he was like, "Yep,
Yeah.
you got approved." So,
That's tough.
yeah, November
All right.
13th, I'll be opening for Chris Calico.
Cool.
Yeah, right at Ace of Spades, and
That's
yeah, it's
awesome,
gonna
bro.
be dope. It's gonna be
Yeah,
dope.
that's
Yeah,
awesome, bro. No, I'm happy, bro. I'm happy for you, man. I appreciate you
thank
coming
you.
on here, bro. It was an honor.
Of course. Thank you for
Before we
having me.
wrap it, yeah, of course, bro. Before we wrap it up, if you got any shout outs or anybody, I know you got hella people. You go ahead. The stage is yours. Anything you want to promo? I know you got two big shows coming up.
I just want to say shout out everybody that's out here doing their thing.
Yeah.
Don't I know like this independent music thing and like this grind, it can get lonely at times, it
Yeah.
can get frustrating,
Yep.
it can get overwhelming, but we all at the try to find solace in the fact that the majority of us are all in the same boat. The
Yep.
majority of us are all trying to figure this thing out.
Facts.
And like literally like we're just taking steps to and seeing what happens, taking shots and seeing if it goes in.
Yep.
So yeah, just keep at it, man. Keep I got a lot of music out on streaming services and
Yep.
YouTube music videos. My main social media is Instagram, so I would appreciate if you could give me a follow on there,
Yep. Yes, sir.
JAKHARISMITH. And yeah, more music will be coming soon, more visuals and more shows and bigger opportunities, and like
Facts,
we're just
bro.
going to take it day by day
Yeah.
and see where it goes. Yeah,
Facts, bro. Nah, I
yeah.
appreciate you, man. Links will be down below. You guys go check out Jakhari. This is LarriWhyte. Peace.
Thank y'all.
Yes, sir.